In this tutorial, we have three problems that are somewhat similar. So let's go ahead and start. The first one says, draw a diagram that could be used to solve the problem. Bobby drives 6 miles to the east, then 8 miles to the south. How far is he from the starting point? So basically, if we go 6 miles to the east, which is to the right, and then 8 miles south, which is down, we end up with a shape. And if we draw a diagonal line between those 2 points, we end up with the distance between the starting point and the ending point. And that's a right triangle. Now, they don't ask us to actually solve for that distance. But if you actually solve for it, you would use the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's the Pythagorean Theorem. And when you substitute your numbers into the formula, you would end up with d, which is equal to 10. Let's move on to the next one. Johnny is making a quilt using squares that measure 8 inches on each side. What is the length of the diagonal of one of the quilt squares? Round to the nearest tenth. Alright, so we know that a square has sides that are all equal. So what they're asking us to do is to find the length of the diagonal side. Again, this is a right triangle, so you use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. You substitute 8 in for your sides, you end up with c squared equals 128. So c is equal to the square root of 128. Our calculator tells us that the answer is 11.313 or 11.3. Next one. A square board has an area of 17 square feet. To the nearest tenth of a foot, what is the length of one side of the square board? What they're basically asking you is to find the sides if they give you the area. So again, we know that a square has equal sides. So let's say that we'll name one side S and the other side S as well because they're equal. So S squared is going to equal 17. Take the square root of both sides and you end up with S equals square root of 17. And it gives us 4.123, which we can round off as 4.1. So our answer is 4.1 feet.